Hello everyone, this is Paris, bringing you a showcast for DE3 bottom bracket elimination matchup between the Myth-fitz and Treasure Island. The Myth-fitz are captained by Weiss. Joining him is Yearly Weiss, Overdose, Scratch, Spy, and Twixo. They will be starting on the eastern part of the map. And in the west, Treasure Island, captained by Groove. With him, Arsenal, Walter White, Das Geist, Ribfeast, and Kryptos. This is Game 1, overseen by the gracious Myth World Cup tournament organizer, Asmodean. The map is in homage to If I Had a Trial territories. It is known as After They're Closed. This map was completely designed by John God of Project Magma, so props to him for this creation, and I hope he enjoys reviewing this game as much as I'm about to. Some changes to that meta for Tro Terries is an additional 7th flag taking place in the middle of the field. So let's see how the teams break up their units and organize to prepare for this battle. Over in the west, Treasure Island, Groove has passed off some of the Tro to Gabba, also known as Wings. He's kept some Tro for himself, that Groove. Looks like Arsenal and Ribfeast have some Warlock packs. Kryptos in charge of the Solus, as well as a few mortars. Daskai's also in a mortar position. And as for the trade, I mean, pretty good. Maybe a little bit too much artillery, especially for just 6 players. Albeit it gives them some wiggle room to lose some, but you should never plan to lose any units, perhaps. Only 8 Solus for the 5 Tro, but in reference, TMF. Well, they've gotten some Mauls in their trade, which will provide them a little bit more melee support. However, they have no soft range such as the Solus to deter the Tro. And with all of the hills and impassable terrain, we'll have to see which trade ends up the victor here. Just to break down the trade really quickly. Looks like Twix with 3 Tro, Spy with 2. The remainder of the TMF players, Scratch, OD, Weiss, and Yearly, all with various artillery, Mercridia, and Mauls.
Game on.
I'm not sure if TMF has actually maxed their Mercridia. And I don't think they have, which might not bode well for them. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's get that back to a normal speed. And so, Twixo
captured.
Off to the mid.
Flag captured. Flag captured.
Looks like Overdose has a small little flank for TMF down in the south with 10%.
Flag captured. Flag
TI
captured. Flag captured.
Opting to go 100% middle. aside from Ribfeast with his small 6% in the north. I don't believe they have any in the south to deal with Overdose. And it looks like Groove and Twix are matching up in the middle. The Soul's moving in position to provide some pressure to the Tro. And in the north, Gabba and Spy facing off.
Flag contested.
So far, Treasure Island in control of the middle flag. The flag's still tied 3-3. Treasure Island hasn't tagged one of their flags in the southeast yet.
Flag captured.
But it seems like that was taken care of. Team F looking to defend the middle here. Get off a pretty nice shot. Wow. Both of those mortar dwarves going down. For Dasgeist. And some success with TMF in the middle. Wings pushing Solo in the north. A bit of a 2-on-1 scenario here. It looks like the teams are going to trade Warlocks here. The Malay is still going down. Gabba has lost the Tro. However, Ribfeast supporting him with the Mercridia. Both of those players looks like they have won the north for Treasure Island. It might get a little bit messy. They will continue to push as another push takes place in the middle of the map, albeit a little bit slower. But it is winning the race. Keep in mind, Overdose is still in the south over here, on the western part of the map. He's very cautious as Dasgeist has spotted him. But it looks like the game might be getting decided fairly soon, as TMF down some 9%. Getting aggressive with the Malay. But alas, where's the support of their artillery? They're throwing full retreat, and Treasure Island advancing upon them. The flag change has been stagnant here as the teams are engaging in some BC. Trying to take out some Mercridia there, but a Mort sounded like it just took its own. Ooh!
Flag contested.
Nice shot by Scratch on Ribfeast Warlock right there. And this fight continues. Overdose looks like he got into the scrap with Dasgeist. He's only down to 2%, which is 2 mauls here. And he's unable to secure this middle TI or the northwest TI flag, which could have secured DMF the game. Albeit, it would have been very easy for TI to respond. They are fully engaged and looking forward to securing this eastern flag. And it seems TMF have anchored here. A little bit hesitant on a rush, trying to get the artillery in position. Can they get a shot on the ranged? It was spreading out ahead of time, and Crypto's also getting the luck of a dud. His solos will continue to deal damage, and now the Malay is going right in. The percentages, a 10% lead for Treasure Island, 15%, 12%, 20%, 25%.
Flag contested.
And it looks like TI has walked away with the game here for their tro still alive.
Flag captured.
Few Mercridia left. Spider with 7% remaining, it will go down. And it looks like the game
eliminated.
has been decided. And that'll be it with Game 1, folks. It goes in favor of Treasure Island. A great push by them. Unfortunate for TMF there. They weren't able to really use any of the hills to their advantage or the defensive role here. But perhaps some credit should go to Treasure Island's offensive push here. They push in the north, push in the middle. Absolutely forget about the south. They let Overdose go on a little stroll down there, only to run into Das Geist. And this game ends up in favor of Treasure Island. Let's go through the stats briefly and move on to Game 2. For TI, Captain Groove, 13 and 5, 74 damage. Gabba, 16 and 15, 110 damage. Arsenal, 4 and 2 with 18 damage. Das Geist, 3 and 4 with 20 damage. Cryptos, 2 and 7 with 65 damage. And last but not least, Rib Feast, 0 and 2 with 7 damage. In the meantime, for TMF, statistically, captained by Weiss, 4 kills, 5 losses, and 29 damage for their captain. Twixo, 11 kills, 12 losses, 56 damage. Scratch, 10, 7, and 60 damage. Spy, 5, 11, and 65 damage. Overdose, 3, 6, and 15 damage. And Yearly Weiss, 0 and 3 with 3 damage. And there you have it, folks. That is Game 1. So you can see the kills over time. TMF out to a short lead. Both the teams evening out. TI starting to take off chunks. TMF catching back up. And then this nice little scrap at the end. Favoring in Treasure Island. So, on to Game 2. Thank you for checking out Game 1. And I'll catch you then. Latest and GG.
Game over.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Game 2. We have the Myth-fitz versus Treasure Island. Right now the score, a 1-0 lead for Treasure Island. This is Liken Unto Death, created by the Badlands Map Making Collective. The game type is Capture the Flag, and worthy of note on this map is the general unit, as well as these temples in the north and southern part of the map, allowing units to be healed every couple of seconds or so. So, with a minute gone in planning time, let's hope these teams start trading out the units soon. Yep, looks like Wings will get his units first. He's going to grab a pack of archers there. We'll have to wait and see what TI does with the rest of their units. They've only gotten 4 dwarves. It doesn't give them that much wiggle room for error with the generals, so we'll just have to see who's in control of it, how well they control it. Checking out the flavor here, it references that if your general dies, you won't receive any future reinforcements. Your enemy has the same problem, but in this case, both teams have the same problem. This is all the units they'll be getting. That part of the map is disabled. So, for Team F, first to get the units, Yearly Weiss. They're starting to pass things out. Alrighty, Arsenal and Dasgeis, as well as Gaba, with the Bowman. For Treasure Island, Groove in charge of the General. Kryptos has some Malay and a Dwarf. Arsenal also with a Dwarf. Ribfeast in a bit of a utility position over here. And for TMF, Weiss will control the General. Scratch and Overdose, small little warrior packs with a Dwarf each.
Game
Gaba.
on.
Oh, Spy, Twix, and Yearly are all in control of the Bowman for TMF. The game has begun. 25 minutes to go. I'm hearing some explosions go off, so maybe one of these teams is creating some bottles for the goals to use. We'll have to wait and see. Looks like they might just be clearing satchels and having some fun. So, TI running off to these two lines in the north and south respectively, and TMF without the lines on the map also heading off into the same general direction. Going through the game chat here, Overdose says might have to boot some of these KD guys for being so uncasual. But maybe we need to boot him because he doesn't want to sign up for MWC team. Okay, Spy, serious pants all around. Let's go. These teams are taking quite a time to get through the middle. So let's take a little reflection of how far these teams have come to get here, since we seem to have plenty of time to discuss it. Both these teams had quite an interesting qualifying round. I believe in their matchup, Treasure Island coming away with a 4-1 victory in the QRs. So this is their first rematch since. Both teams in different positions. Treasure Island having just lost in the top bracket, but last week TMF doing what they can to stay alive and eliminating Avon's Grove. Scratch starting to get a feel for that general range, I suppose. Meanwhile, TI's North beginning to engage TMF. So far the team's just sizing each other up. Some resources expended early. TMF South looking to push this river area, but TI in a rather good position to pinch. Scratch attempting some shots there. with his dwarf, but unable to land a nice one. And TMF's North will begin to push. Some pus going down. Ooh. A nice pus by Overdose. Able to stun Groove's dwarf. It looks like it's gonna be in trouble and risk getting killed if this ghoul had a pus, but no, it's walking in for the kill. Oh, and Spider with an arrow from the heavens takes out the general's dwarf over here. Arsenal might be passing that over to Groove, and Spy is in full retreat as Arsenal looks to seek some revenge for the death of that dwarf. Gabba with a nice pus on this dwarf, controlled by Weiss. It goes down. Looks like Scratch is trying to bomb Gabba, but he's just out of range. Gabba continuing to move away, taking some pot shots here. Twix has a bow going down. We have full engagement in the north. Percentages 75 to 79 in favor of TI. Oh, and it looks like Spy will begin to
Contested.
attempt to defend here. Quite a few things going down. Oh, Scratch. Nice shot, buddy. Oh, and Scratch launches the pus. A full-on assault by General Scratch over here. It's moving right up on Dasgeist, who's starting to retreat. Let's see. Is Scratch able to take out this dwarf? Nope, he will now focus on the melee. Dasgeist dwarf still alive. Scratch looking for the shot, instead his dwarf in quite a bit of trouble. Dasgeist dwarf, will it survive? It actually takes out one of his own team's goals as well as a warrior. And this warrior returning the favor, unable to save Dasgeist. But it's not the exact favor you want from a teammate. Looks like Gabba and Dasgeist may begin to beeline for this flag in the northeast. Weiss moving in to intercept them with the help of Twix. And in the north, looks like plenty of stalemating going on over here. Spider with some half-dead bows. He might make a run for the temple as the melee for TI has decided to head to the fight in the middle of the map rather than clean up Spider. And out in the far west, it's Overdose with one warrior scouting out the Treasure Island flag. It looks like he'll get a good view, but it might be tough for him to sneak this flag out from under the watch of Rib Feast. Groove continuing to push. His dwarf will go down. Excellent move by Twixo with his bowman, able to snipe the Duff. And at this point in the game, the teams are tied at percentage. However, TMF has lost their general. TI still in control of theirs. And it looks like Yearly's in a good position to support his teammates' retreat. Spy having gotten the heals at the temple. And it looks like Kryptos and Dasgeist might be going to say hello.
5 minutes remaining.
We have 5 minutes left here, so this team, or this game rather, has a pretty good chance of stalemating at this point. However, if TI is able to successfully push, they will secure a well-earned win here. And it looks like Kryptos and Dasgeist are going to take advantage of those archers.
Head straight on.
Meanwhile, Groove, Wings, Arsenal, all in wait for their teammates to return so they can attempt this pinch on this well-defended position. TMF is still in control of one dwarf. At the moment, under the command of Yearly. Kryptos and Dasgeist trying to grab some attention here, but Twixo knows where the meat of the army is, and he's ready to eat. Dropping a few volleys on Arsenal, as well as Gabba. Ah, yes. A good defense. Twix kind of in full control here. TI not having utilized any of their melee or the general until now. Looks like they're starting to flank from the north. But this melee needs to be almost on top of them by now. And still they need a dwarf of their own. An unfortunate situation. And it looks like the general will deflect some bowman arrows there, as well as deflect at least one of the flame arrows. Another one will land directly in the bubble. TI able to get up the hill. They've taken quite a few casualties along the way. Now it looks like Yearly might have bombed his own team, but he's just trying to be a little extra careful in the defense of his home flag and the enemy units around it. Twixo continues to eat.
Flag contested.
And a nice arrow by Spy there. I mean, Twixo's starting to lose some of his bowmen. And Yearly's dwarf still alive.
Flag
Gets up a nice little shot there.
Move over.
TI attempting to win the melee here, but in quite a tough position. With 100 seconds left in the game, TMF has a 20% advantage. TI will be unable to take control of the northeast flag, and my question now is, how long can that lone warrior of overdoses contest this flag for the other 31% of TMF to show up at TI's doorstep and even this game up? Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. So, with 1 minute to go, both generals dead for each team. It looks like TMF has sent a small force out, but long ago they have accepted that they had a bit of a slow
30
start.
30 seconds remaining.
It may be better for them to play defensively, and that success here will keep them afloat. There are definitely times when it's better to just deny your opponent the win than to really stress on getting it yourself. And so, really well played by TI in their attempt for offensive success.
Flag contested.
Now it's their
Sudden
job
death.
for defensive success, as they just saw from TMF.
Flag contested.
So, sudden death has begun. It's only been 10 seconds.
Flag
It's
contested.
been a few seconds too long. Automatic camera. Oh, the journeyman. Rib
Game
feast.
over.
Oh, the heel of the game. Overdose unable to continue contesting. Oh, dude. Yeah, so with a heel from Rib Feast, Overdose feels the love, walks off the flag, and the game ends in a stalemate. The series now continues to be in Treasure Island's favor. 1 win and 1 tie. A pretty good response for TMF, and it was cool to see Overdose make the call they should play defensive and TMF have a successful defense. Let's jump through the statistics and head right over to Game 3. For TMF, Weiss 2 and 4 with 2 damage. Scratch 12 and 7 with 24 damage. Remember, Scratch in charge of the general this game for TMF, helping secure the stalemate. With maybe 2 more minutes there, he might have helped his team, be the first step on their way to a victory. Let's just keep on going from Scratch to Spider Reich. 11 and 7. 27 damage. Twixo 7, 5, 37 damage. Yearly Weiss 4 and 1 with 7 damage. And Overdose 3 and 5 with 15 damage. On to Treasure Island with Groove, who is in charge of Treasure Island's general, if I recall correctly. He had gone 2 and 5 with 6 damage. Gabba leading the game in damage with 52. He went 7 and 10. Arsenal 6 and 8 with 28 damage. Cryptos 6 and 7 with 16 damage. Dasgeist 4 and 7 with 9 damage. And Ribfeast 1 and 5 with 4 damage. A pretty good job by both teams. This will just go to a draw. And as we can see over time, quite a close game. TMF getting a lead in kills, keeping it for the rest of the game. Treasure Island getting a lead in damage and losing it over the course of the game, ending in favor of TMF. And well, thank you for watching Game 2 on Lickin' Unto Death CTF in DE3 of MWC2024. See you in Game 3. And GG. Alrighty, gentlemen, this is game number 3. The 4-leaf Fen, king of the map. We're just getting out of a pretty wild game number 2 with Lickin' Unto Death. The captains for the team Both teams have remained the same. It looks like there's more players in the game now. 16 players. We'll have to see who gets units or what goes on in this match, as the previous games were 6-on-6. I expect them to stay the same, but we'll have to wait and see. Groove has already finished his team's trade and has begun distributing the units. Quite a few dwarves for Treasure Island. Looks like Wings, Arsenal, and we'll have to find out who. Maybe Groove are in charge of the bowmen. Looks like they've traded for 2 Heron healers. Whereas TMF has traded for 0. Oh, they've traded for 1. Good lord. Okay, so we got looks like Wings will be playing in the south, Groove will be playing in the north. Let's see where. Alright, Kryptos is here. Kryptos might be going to the north, or it might end up mid. But we got a pretty standard balanced trade here. Kind of an even amount of melee. Judging from the trade, it looks like both teams have about the same number of melee, albeit a slight disadvantage without 6 heals for TMF. TMF also opting for a few more archers in their trade.
Game on.
Looks like Twix will be heading off into the north. Overdose will be dispatched to the south. And Spider will be roaming off to the mid.
Flag captured.
For TMF. We'll have to wait and see where Weiss and Yearly
captured.
end up. Looks like Ion's receiving some units for TMF.
Flag captured.
So it is a 6-on-7.
Flag captured.
TMF off to a small 30-second lead in time.
Flag captured.
And it looks like they're going to pick up the middle flag. While no one on TMF is really beelining for the north, Ribfeast and Kryptos have run off to secure those 2 flags in the north.
Flag lost. Flag contested. Flag captured. Flag captured.
TMF has
Flag
quite
captured.
a large percentage of their units to the south. Meanwhile,
Flag captured.
They will lose control of the middle flag, with the Spider in a peculiar position. Hopefully his flanks stay strong and don't give the enemy an opportunity to pinch.
Flag contested.
As Wings is gonna drop an early pus,
Flag
taking
captured.
out Scratch's dwarf.
Stand clear.
And Scratch returning the favor, neutralizing Dasgeist's dwarf. In the north, Treasure Island pushing south. Forcing TMF's north to retreat, albeit their west continues to progress. Now it looks like Ion's losing his units over some mention of 6v6 in the middle of a match.
Flag lost.
Kind of strange, but okay. So
Flag
at this point,
contested.
Well, Spy's putting up a nice defense, as unfortunately for Groove,
Flag
he's a little
contested.
bit parked in this slow
Flag
area with
contested.
the water.
Flag captured.
Meanwhile, their team compensating for this by holding on to the
Flag
southwest,
lost.
and it also looks like Scratch moved into a position to flank. I kind of wish he was going a little bit deeper here.
Flag contested.
Really forcing GABA to retreat. And Overdose looking to move into a position to capitalize, but Scratch will retreat himself.
Stand clear. Got him.
Arsenal continuing to control the middle, fighting off Spy. We've got a Dud Pus coming down from Kryptos.
Flag contested.
He picks it back up again. We'll see where it goes up. We'll win down to some warriors here, but he's moving right in to take care of the Pus units. Spider's in a bit of a bad position. He should be backing up here, but he and Weiss look to hold ground.
Yes.
Flag
It looks like
contested.
it's been Twix who's been mid with these archers all along. Some deceptive royal purple there. And he's putting up a fight against Arsenal, but Arsenal's warriors are a bit too close to his bowman at this time.
Flag
And
contested.
they will now be moving in on the bowman,
And stay down.
along with Kryptos moving in from the north. And it looks like we have a few problems going on with TMF here. I'm not sure what those bowmen will be able to do. Looking back over to the west, Wings holding his own against Yearly and Overdose. A nice little explosion going off there.
Flag contested.
It looks like another Pus going down. Wasn't from Scratch, but Scratch will be positing Beirut.
5 minutes remaining. Flag captured.
Scratch trying to have a strong game
Flag
here, bring his team back
contested.
into it. They're a little bit down by 20%.
Watch your fire.
And unfortunately at this point they've lost control of the flags as well as control of the time lead.
Get out of the way.
TMF looks to push the middle here, a little bit suicidal. And GABA looking to push the
Flag contested.
remainder of the TMF army. TMF has a bit of a fancy defense, and Daskai's a bit of an AFK dwarf. It looks like this continues to be a bit of a stalemate, albeit Treasure Island has the mobility,
Flag captured.
TMF has the artillery in the south.
Flag contested. Flag captured.
Brute continues to just deal some passive damage to those Thrall, but
Flag
unfortunately
contested.
for those archers, Spider is gonna chop them to bits. Ooh,
Flag contested.
that was a nice late Pus by Rib Feast. Just enough to sneak that dwarf.
Flag contested.
Well, I put TMF south at
Flag
a greater
Flag
disadvantage than they had before.
Flag
Meanwhile, they
lost.
had a small window of time there, maintaining the lead of the flags. Losing it does not bode well for them catching back up, but at least they're able to kind
Flag
of cancel
lost.
the time out here. And it looks like
Flag
Kryptos will be
captured.
looking to take them off this south
Flag
mid flag.
contested. Flag lost.
Overdose
Flag
doing what he can to
lost.
keep Rib Feast and GABA away
Flag
from the southwest.
contested.
And up in the northeast, Weiss trying to snag some flags with some thrall that seem to have lost the rest of their army. We have the artillery getting rushed here.
Flag contested.
A great move by Myth-fitz to take out that dwarf about 90 seconds ago, opening the near perfect maneuver for his team to secure the west. At this point, it is 28% 2-4. It looks like Game 3 will be going to Treasure Island. Kind of an interesting game here.
Captured.
I am a little bit surprised Weiss opted to only get one Herrick healer here.
And stay down.
Flag lost. Flag contested. 1 minute remaining.
And that is the game. So, 54 minutes to 30. Treasure Island is clinching the series now. One more win will allow them to advance to their future opponent in the bottom bracket. Whereas the Myth-fitz must win the next 2 games and force a tiebreaker to get back into this series. From what I could see from this game, it seemed like they had a TMF had lots of presence and priority to go and push mid in the southwest. But unfortunately for their mid, they met the Treasure Island mid and northern flanks. Ended up getting pinched, and while their southwest held out for quite a long time, once the rest of the map was decided, ultimately TMF Southwest fell short. Going over some statistics quickly, we have Groove 12 and 15 with 30 damage, Cryptos 15 and 5 with 18 damage, Arsenal 13 and 13 with 37 damage, Dasgeist 13 and 5 with 24 damage, Water Wings 11 kills, 11 losses, Lucky Guy 34 damage, Myth-fitz treasured. Well, I know his team's treasuring the pus on that dwarf earlier. He went 9 for 3 with 19 damage. And moving on to TMF, it's really unfortunate they took Ion's units away. I don't see what the emphasis on 6-on-6 was for, but if they're respecting the wishes of Treasured Island, all the power to them. Weiss here, 4 and 28, 14 damage. Spy 12 and 12 with 30 damage, Overdose 11 and 12 with 43 damage, Scratch 8 and 7 with 15 damage, Twixo 7 and 17 with 19 damage, and Yearly Weiss 2 and 5 with 7 damage. It's just kind of unfortunate. I feel like they should have just replayed Game 3 because of this weird interruption, and we end up with a captain here, 28 losses. I mean, it's a light map, you're going to lose Thrall here and that, but it's also a matter of some of those units were formerly Ions in the first place. As well as it being a light map, you know, you're probably going to get a lot of losses, but just unfortunate, you know. It gives this series, it puts it in full control of Treasured Island at the moment, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens in Game 4 and 5. And I'll catch you then. Take care.
Team eliminated. Game over.
All right. All right.
Okay, everyone. Game number 4. We have the Myth-fitz versus Treasure Island. This is a map named A Poison Holiday. It's the dark variant. The game type Flag Rally. The game time 12 minutes. At the moment, Treasure Island has 2 wins. TMF 0 wins. And one of the previous games has also tied. At the moment, on the verge of elimination. Let's see if the Myth-fitz can hold on. Weiss putting together a fairly good trade. Noticeably missing is the Berserks, but it's incredibly easy to forget that there's even Solus on the map because they don't have much use here, so this is a good change, I feel, by TMF. Treasure Island. Okay, so no Solus here either, which is good to see. I like that they're using Zerks instead, and you get a little bit more mobility. You could have 3 Zerks for just 2 mauls. That's gonna give Treasure Island a little bit more opportunity to be effective when moving offensively, as well as being able to spread out throughout the map. Not quite different than what we've seen in earlier games and trades, but honestly, it seems like TMF has taken a right direction in their trade here. Not sure how it happened, but we'll just have to see how it influences the results in this game. We can notice TMF has split their tro 2-1. 2 going to Scratch, 1 to Spy, and the throwers for Treasure Island shall not be plural, it shall only be GABA, formerly of Mental, an age-old MWC team from either the 2007 or 08 year, but bringing it back to 2024. It's interesting to see one team keep the tro together and the other try to split, and we'll just have to see how the teams decide to react to their opponent's decisions. However, what's more important is their plan with those tro, and I doubt you can see that on the map both of these teams having quite the focus on West, albeit it looks like Treasure Island is looking to split up their units. Half to the west, half to the east, we'll just have to see. Ion and Overdose on the fetch for TMF. Das Geist and Kryptos with the fetch for TI. So, team spread out. Primarily they are playing for flag number 4 in the west and flag number
captured.
5 in the east.
Flag captured.
We'll see Treasure Island pick up
flag
their
captured.
Early tag very quickly. Also maintain a flag lead here. They still have not grabbed northeast. TMF 2 flags behind them.
Flag captured.
Looks like they will
flag captured.
Secure flag number 5. Both teams able to take their defensive flags, albeit TMF opting to already push this early
flag captured.
But as you can see, the game remains in favor of TI, and TMF will take it right over. 5 flags to 4. Let's hope TI doesn't forget to tag that flag out in the east. Got some fetch walls lining up, but there's a clear disadvantage for TMF in this scenario. Perhaps they're looking to bring some balance there with the mortars. However, where have their other fetch pack gone? You'll see their thrower moving back to the west as Treasure Island moves on that flag in the east. And TMF's fetch are isolated in the west in a poor position to this mortar. And lucky for them, it attacks the flag. Well, one team has the Tro split, the other team has the Fetch split. Looks like TMF has adapted to split their Tro actually by taking one of them. Treasure Island looking for the next 2 flags for them to take the lead. While this standoff takes place, looks like Spy wants to go for some kills. He will quickly back off. Ryan will be moving his Western Fetch to the middle. It's good to see him in the game this time. The match continues to be a 6-on-6. Both teams really directing their action here. Looks like Treasure Island might begin to push. What a sturdy defense by TMF. The mortar's going to go down as it's taking a shot. But a Trove for Treasure Island will also be going down. Quite a bit of thinking going on here. You have Groove moving in to try to flank the 3 fetch. It is unfortunate Ion is so far out of position with his, as it looks like TMF trying to hold their ground here rather than back up has put them in a tough situation. And it looks like their Tro might be going down here. Score's still tied in percentage for what it is. And it looks like it's now in the favor of TMF. In regard to Trow health, though, in favor of Treasure Island, as Spy retreats to Ion's Fetch. Treasure Island has created the opportunity for them to secure the 4, at least 2 of the 4 flags they need to turn the game around. You see Twixo trying to bait Dasgeist into a poor position here, but Dasgeist retreats. Looks like Treasure Island has completely retreated from the Midwest, albeit they continue to hold their flag in the Northwest.
Flag captured.
It looks like they will be taking the lead, securing the Southeast. And Gabba tagging the East Flag 5. Good to see Twix here putting on a little push to try to maybe contest some of these flags, albeit their team will need as much defense as possible. Spy and Ion could be chasing them, but instead they'll be pushing into the mid here. It looks pretty good in TMF's favor so far. 2 fetch will go down for Dasgeist, but now 2 fetch will go down for TMF.
Flag
Groove and his melee moving in.
Victory imminent.
Victory imminent secured by TI. And Groove just nearly 2 stone to survive. Oh. Should have cut off early. Well, the troll for both teams will go down. The percentage is still close here, but with TI taking the lead, it totally changes the dynamic as TMF is now forced onto the offensive.
Captured.
But before I can even finish the sentence, it seems Treasure Island has won Game 4. Incredible. So, that will decide the series. Congratulations to Treasure Island in winning this match. Unfortunate for TMF, but this might have been one of their most exciting games of the series by far. Anyway, let's go through the statistics here. On Treasure Island, Dasgeist 9 and 5 with 48 damage, Groove 11 and 14 with 67 damage, Arsenal 7 and 4 with 21 damage. GABA 4 and 5 with 60 damage, Kryptos 2 and 7 with 24 damage, Rib Feast 1 and 4 with 4 damage, and the Myth-fitz. Captain Weiss 2 and 8 with 2 damage, Spider Reich with 12 kills, 11 losses, and 66 damage, Overdose 8 and 9, 53 damage, Ion 8 and 8, 38 damage, Scratch 7 and 3 with 60 damage, Twix 0 and 0 with just 2 damage, unfortunately. And that is the end of game number 4. Treasure Island takes the series lead with 3 wins. We'll be moving on to game 5. Congratulations to Treasure Island. Sorry for the Myth-fitz, but I appreciate them accompanying everybody this summer on the journey of Myth World Cup 2024. And so, without further ado, let's move on to their final goodbye to this tournament with game number 5.
Game over.
Good game. And here we are in game number 5. This will be a little bit more casual for the bros. Treasure Island in the blue have won the series. They have not lost a game today, but they may lose it this very game, as TMF, free from the constraints of Myth World Cup, have obliged to continue playing and play out the full series with this game number 5. It's good to see that fighting spirit, and gives me some hope here they can end on a pretty strong note. Albeit Treasure Island, perhaps it's even more important for them to end on a stronger note given the competition they will be facing within 24 hours from this match, due to the constraints of the bottom bracket within the double elimination tournament. For strategy, TMF opting for quite a few bowmen, but it's good to see them max out the fast mobile melee here between the warriors and the Stygians. They've only opted for, let's see, 3 dwarves? We'll have to see how that plays out for them, as they could run into trouble with so many archers. Meanwhile, for Treasure Island, we have a much stronger melee trade, the same number of bowmen. However, there are no Brianor in the trade of Treasure Island. They've opted for a few more goals, a little bit more utility with the pus, maybe a few more thrall, 1 more dwarf. A little bit of a different trade here. It should be interesting to see. Oh, actually, they have, what, 3? No, they have 2 more dwarves than TMF. We'll just have to see how TMF are able to work the Bowman and Brianor together here, as I think strategy-wise the advantage goes to Treasure Island, having the opportunity to be able to make a decisive movement that takes units off the map with the melee is just that much stronger than having to rely on the Bowman or the Brianor to really whittle down your opponent. It's really up to your opponent at that point to give you that time. So we'll have to see if Treasure Island gives them that time or doesn't allow it. Both the teams grabbing flags early. TI the first to 2. We'll have to see who the first of 4 is. Looks like it could
Flag
be TI.
captured.
Myth-fitz running off to the west fairly quickly there without securing the flag. Perhaps an emphasis on BC here, but we'll be able to find out by how much of this game is actually played.
Flag captured.
Albeit we have a full-time game. The teams are playing KOTM fairly even, but if this game takes less than the full game time, one team definitely had a significant body count advantage.
Captured.
And TMF will secure that middle flag. Might be able to break into a small little lead here.
Captured.
And so
flag captured.
The teams meet in the mid. TI has dispatched units to the beach, mainly on the western flank. TMF neglecting these areas, only dispatching simple taggers. And
lost. Flag captured.
Looks like Wings and Desk Ice are gonna push on Spy here.
Flag
in the west.
Captured.
Melee in favor of TMF. Treasure Island will retreat. TMF will continue to move up with their bowmen. They've also broken out through the mid with their melee. They're looking to pinch this force in the east, controlled by Treasure Island.
Flag captured.
It's up to Cryptos and Arsenal to make the choice to retreat or hold the ground.
Flag contested. Flag lost.
And it looks like Cryptos' dwarf will go down.
Flag captured. Flag contested.
So the east gets pushed.
Lost. Flag
the
lost.
west far too passive to pay attention to right now. Ooh. A tough miss by Crip.
Flag lost.
Will he be able to recover the pus on the ground? Looks like Groove moving in with his dwarves. Cryptos will drop the pus, able to drop 2 warriors there. Groove's dwarves cleaning up. And Arsenal
contested.
Absolutely destroying
Flag contested. Flag
the east
lost.
with Groove's goals.
Flag
just
captured.
running over the bowmen
Flag
and the
lost.
Marianor of TMF.
Flag contested.
The dwarves just a little bit out of position to assist, but it is difficult
Flag
to push
captured.
up a hill.
Flag captured.
And it seems Scratch
Flag contested.
Overdose will be in the retreat now. Their push
Flag
having failed.
Contested. Flag
We'll
lost.
have to see how TI spreads out and takes advantage of this.
Captured.
They have the same number of flags, but a slight 90-second or so lead in time.
Flag lost. Flag lost.
And the West will remain passive. Gabba giving his team time to really develop in the East, and it looks like Weiss is now going to push him.
Flag contested.
Quite a standoff
Flag
over in the East now.
Flag captured.
Scratch able to defend it fairly easily. Gabba dropping the pus there.
Flag contested.
Melee cleaning up.
Flag lost.
Weiss having
Flag
pushed without
contested.
these 2 dwarves of Twixes, which were real. The pushback there, rather than the bowman.
Captured. Flag lost.
It seems they've been cut off, unable to help, and are just in a little bit of trouble from harassment here. Whoa. TMF still trying to make the East work.
Flag contested.
Able to retake that flag.
Flag captured.
So it looks like quite a few TI units have spread out from that
captured.
eastern position. It
Flag
looks like
captured.
Gaba seeks to use his archers here to take out the rest of the Malay. No Stygians for TMF left.
Flag lost.
Except
Flag
over in the
lost.
east.
Flag lost.
The large percentage advantage here would be incredibly difficult
Flag
for TMF
captured.
to try to claw their way back here.
Flag contested. Flag lost.
Scratch trying to
Flag
keep his dwarf
lost.
alive.
Flag captured. Flag lost.
And it looks like it,
Flag
it
contested.
almost go.
Flag lost.
Cryptos moving
Flag
right in on it
contested.
with a real quick Malay rush.
Flag captured.
Quite the perfect pinch.
Flag lost.
Barely moves to try to defend Scratch.
Yeah.
But Scratch submits. Perhaps Overdose can
Flag
solve something
captured.
here, but I feel at this point
Flag
the players
lost.
kind of accepted the game has been decided. Mostly see some suicidal play here.
5 minutes remaining. Flag contested.
And Treasure Island in full control of the east. Oh, a large group of units
Flag
of spiders
captured.
here in the west. I wish those units had been in the middle and in that fight.
Flag lost.
Some fancy moves by Spider in the middle of the map. I didn't realize the World War II players were multitasking in different areas these days. It's almost like cheating.
Flag lost.
And so the Brianor goes down. Spider holding in the west here. Overdose in control of the Stygian. And it looks like the game will end with Rib Feast. Malaying with Overdose here. Overdose is actually so spread out, he's kind of inviting the Malay. But Rib Feast can do some simple math and see it's not the best idea.
Flag lost. Flag lost.
Spy will continue
Flag
to hunt
captured.
down Rib Feast. He's about to get blocked
Flag
off by the
lost.
unit. He actually moves in on it. Two of his Stygians will go down for TI. Spider will continue to try to clean up this Malay here before reinforcements arrive.
Flag contested. Flag lost.
Debris looking to out-micro the bowman here. TMF Malay continuing to be successful, but unfortunately taking a rough hit from the pus there. Their Brianor will go down. And with the Heron Healer and the deaths of the two Stygians, we have an unfortunate extension. Oh. Well, he has 3 veteran kills. I can understand why he doesn't want to let it go, but... Oh, he's calling the 1 versus 1. But Treasure Island, they are up for blood. Spider able to secure another kill here. Dasguy's moving in with the pinch. He's actually going to blow up some of his team's own units. Hope for TMF is renewed. Oh, he's flexing. He took down another warrior there. And that is the game, folks. We have Groove 17 and 8, 33 damage. Wings 28 and 6, 71 damage. Crypto 17 and 5, 32 damage. Arsenal 11 and 12, 33 damage. Dasgeist 5 and 3 with 20 damage. Rib Feast 2 and 6 with 20 damage. As for TMF, Weiss 1 and 16 with 9 damage. Spy 10 and 10 with 19 damage. Overdose 9 and 20 with 30 damage. Scratch 5 and 16 with 17 damage. Ion 3 and 12 with 10 damage. Twix 3 and 9 with 6 damage. And Yearly Weiss 1 and 3 with 5 damage. And so game 5 ends in favor of Treasure Island, 118 minutes to 48. Thanks once again to TMF for their participation this year. Pretty cool to see. Best of luck to them in their future endeavors. And the same goes for Treasure Island. Really cool to see you guys rise up from the shadows and become a team. And hope you guys had some fun this year with this match and many more games of Myth. Thank you all for tuning in to this exhilarating bottom bracket DE3 match and the second elimination of the tournament. I hope you all have a great rest of your summer and take care. Paris out.
Game over.
And good game.
We did it! Hooray!